Welcome to week 2 of April, where we're looking at what it means to be church. We as a fellowship at Ramsey Elim Community Church have decided that we are going to focus our efforts to fulfill the Great Commission by making disciples around 3 particular words, which is to include people, to invite people, and to bless people. The commission you'll find in Mark 16:15 to 16. But I'm going to start in Matthew 25. This is Jesus talking, and he tells this story. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, all the angels will be with him. He will sit on his throne in heavenly glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the Father will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?" The king will reply, "I tell you the truth. Whatever you do for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me." And when Jesus says, "these brothers of mine," he means everyone. He means all nations. Everyone that has walked this planet. When Jesus went to the cross on Good Friday, he went to the cross on Good Friday not for a select group, not for a special people. He went for everyone. And when he was risen, when he rose from the tomb, when he was resurrected on Easter Sunday, which we remember today, he did that for everyone. It is for us to choose whether to follow him or not. And if we've chosen to follow him, that comes with certain results. One of those results is that we have been asked to follow the Great Commission, and the commission is to go and make disciples. Now, we've broken that down into 3 as a fellowship: to include people, to invite people, and to bless people. All nations means we need to include everyone. To invite people, that means we need to invite the stranger. We need to be prepared to invite them in. No matter how scared we are, no matter how unusual that feels to us, we have to learn how to reach the community for Christ. And we need to learn how to bless that community. And we can do that on our knees praying, and that's the starting point of it. And we can do that by spending time with each other and learning from each other how to do that. But we still need to go out and do that. We need to stay on mission. We need to keep our eye on that prize, which is to live this life as fully as possible in the glory and the blessing that Jesus has bestowed on us through his death and resurrection. And as his last words on this earth to his disciples were as follows, we too need to live with that, which is to go into all the world and preach the good news to all creation. We need to include everyone. Whoever believes and is baptized will be saved. We need to invite people to accept the gospel. But whoever does not believe will be condemned. Mark 16:15 to 16. So with that in mind, the call to action this week is as follows. We are called to make disciples. That is not easy. That is scary. But to do that, there's some very simple steps we can take. We can include people. That means getting into the community, not just the community of the church, where we should meet together to strengthen each other, to sharpen each other as iron sharpens iron, but also to get out into the community beyond that, to meet people beyond the walls of our close fellowship, that we can invite people into that community. We need to pray to meet people of peace within the community. Those people who know people through whom the gospel can move, that Jesus can move and can bless. We need to be prepared to invite people. It might be nice being in that little group that we're in together. We're all very familiar, we're all very friendly, we know each other very well, but we have to be prepared to invite the stranger into our midst, to be prepared to share the gospel with them, to share our lives with them. I mean, I'm not talking about being really silly here, but I'm talking about actually being prepared to take those first steps and being sensible, but essentially just inviting everybody. And be willing to invite people to our group, or if that's not suitable, to set up a new group, but getting people together that can talk through the gospel, that can learn from each other, that can disciple each other, and they can go out into the community to make more disciples. And ultimately, we have committed to follow Christ. We want to follow Christ. We've given our lives to Christ, and that means that we will be Christ-like. And like Christ blessed people, we need to bless people too. At times, we've got to actually consciously take steps to do that, but we need to be the equivalent of Christ in our community. So on this Easter day, when we remember that Jesus rose again from the dead for us and for everyone, for all nations, I just pray, Lord, that we'll go out into the community and be the salt and light you've called us to be. Thank you.